Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today welcome to my Game Week 14 Premier League predictions. It's the first weekend of December, you know, the festive season is officially here. So yeah, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, let's get into the video. And the first game is at the Emirates Stadium today at 3 o'clock, no early kickoff today. The first game at 3 o'clock, Arsenal versus Wolves at the Emirates Stadium. Now, of course, Wolves played on the Monday Night Football. They lost 3-2 to Fulham. A very controversial penalty, I think, in the 94th minute, which was given from VAR. Personally, I don't think it was a penalty. If I have to be honest, I don't think there's really no contact between the players. So, bit of a harsh decision there. Of course, Arsenal 6-0 win versus RC Lens in the Champions League. I did watch the game. And to be honest, Arsenal just absolutely ran right over Lens. Lens were just absolutely all over the place. You know, of course, Arsenal are top of the Premier League because they beat Brentford 1-0 last week. And to be fair, you know, Arsenal found it quite difficult because that Brentford defence was really solid. But of course, they broke through in the 89th minute from Havertz. Late heartbreak for Brentford there. But, you know, of course, we'll speak about Brentford in a minute, but overall, Arsenal, they actually found it quite difficult against Brentford because, like I said, their defence, Brentford, was absolutely exceptional. You know, Wolves, you know, on their day, they actually can be quite good, you know. Of course, you know, they beat us 2-1 a few weeks ago. I thought Wolves were exceptional in that game. You know, Wolves, you know, there are some key players in that side that are quite good. The Haiti midfielder, Jean Richner Bellegarde, I think he's quality. You got Hwang Chan up front as well. I think he's quite good. I think Wolves will give Arsenal a game here, but I think Arsenal will win. They are the home side. It's at the Emirates. I think Arsenal at home, I can't see them losing, so I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal. And of course, the next game is at the GW14 Community Stadium. It is Brentford versus Luton. Now, Luton, what a win for them last week. Their first ever home win in the Premier League against Crystal Palace. And, you know, I did watch the highlights of the match today, and one player who was absolutely outstanding was the goalkeeper, Thomas Kaminski. Save after save after save. Palace had so many opportunities, but Kaminski in net for Luton, which is absolutely brilliant. But overall, a win on home soil for Luton is fantastic. But, you know, today's not going to be an easy game. They're playing a Brentford side. Yes, they have lost their last two games, but their last two games have been against Liverpool and Arsenal. And I think the Bees will probably want to win this game because they've got a big game after this in midweek against Brighton. So this is a game Brentford will want to win. Of course, Luton have got some tough games coming up after this. Of course, they've got Arsenal, Man City, Bournemouth, Newcastle. They've got big games coming up, Luton. But for me, I think Brentford at home, I think they're too strong. So I'm going to back Brentford to win 3-0. And of course, the next game is at Turf Moor. It is a massive game down at the bottom, 20th versus 18th. It is Burnley versus Sheffield United, two teams that got promoted from the Championship last season. And this game should be a really good game. Of course, Sheffield United fans, you know, is it time to go for Paul Heckingbottom? Surely, if the Blades lose this today, is it time to go for Paul Heckingbottom? You know, Sheffield United, they've only won one game this season. Burnley have also won one game this season. That was an away win at Luton. Sheffield United, their only win was at home against Wolves. Of course, Burnley, they lost 2-1 against West Ham last week. Not the result they really wanted. Of course, Sheffield United, 3-1 defeat against Bournemouth. And personally, you know, that game, Sheffield United, they actually could have got maybe, if you look at it, because Bournemouth, you know, they have struggled at the moment, Bournemouth. And yes, Bournemouth are 16th at the moment. They've only won 3 times this season, Bournemouth. So that game, the Blades maybe could have got a result out of that. But overall, the performance from Sheffield United in that game against Bournemouth was absolutely tragic. It was not good enough, you know. The goal from Tristan Kluivert, I don't know what Fotheringham's doing. It was just an absolute mess for Sheffield United in their last game against Bournemouth. Of course, Burnley, you know, they've lost 2, 4, 6. They've lost 7 games in a row. Oh, is it going to be 8 today? Who knows? But this really could go either way. This could be a Burnley win, it could be a Sheffield United win. It really could go either way, to be honest. It could be a draw. But for me, I am going to go with a draw. I'm going to sit on the fence and go Burnley 1, Sheffield United 1. But it's a must win for both teams. Okay, then now we move on to the 5:30 kickoff, and it is a big game at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest versus Everton. Massive game at the City Ground. Now, I watched both Forest and Everton last week. Forest 3-2 defeat against Brighton last week. I did watch the game. It was an incredible game. Forest, they played well, and of course they did go 1-0 up, but the response from Brighton was quite good. But overall, it was actually a really good game. And of course, Everton, their first game since their 10-point deduction was a 3-0 defeat at home against Eric Ten Hag's Manchester United. To be honest, Everton had so many chances in that first half. They had some really good chances, Everton, from Calvert-Lewin and other players. They just couldn't put their chances away in Everton, of course. I think after the second goal went in for United, I think it was just game over for Everton. But this will be a tough game. Nottingham Forest at home are good. The fans are passionate. Forest fans, when they're at home, are loud and they're mad. But just Forest at home in general are very strong. This will be a really tough game for Everton. But of course, their first away game since the deduction. They'll want to win this game, Everton, to get motivation back. But I can't see it happening, unfortunately. I'm going to go 2-1 Nottingham Forest. And of course, the next game is probably game of the day at St James's Park. It's two Champions League teams. It's Newcastle United versus Manchester United. Personally, this should be such a great game because the atmosphere at St James's Park will be rocking. The atmosphere will be absolutely rocking. It'll be a fantastic game to watch. And of course, both teams both teams drew in the Champions League in midweek. Manchester United 3-3 draw against Galatasaray. Newcastle with a 1-1 draw against the defending French champions Paris Saint-Germain. And let's just start with Newcastle, actually, because that penalty in the last minute, an absolute shambles from VAR. Absolute shambles. I don't understand. How is that a penalty? It's never a penalty in a million years. It hits him there first, then hits his arm. Literally, his arm's like that. I mean, I don't understand how you can give that as a penalty when it's hit here first and then hit his arm. I mean, it's just an absolute joke in my opinion. I can feel the Newcastle fans' frustration because that was never a penalty, but a draw, but as well the effort from the Newcastle players, because personally I thought PSG absolutely dominated Newcastle, but the effort from the Newcastle players was absolutely outstanding. Of course, Manchester United 3-3 draw versus Galatasaray. I watched the game. What a game! In Turkey on Wednesday evening. It was an absolutely incredible game because United did go 2-0 up. Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes scoring, but of course United left it up. But overall, it was such a good game, and but literally after Kerem Atakoglu made it 3-3, it was literally chance for Galatasaray, chance for United, it was literally chances for both teams. It was literally 1 minute Galatasaray the chance, then it'd be United, then it'd be Galatasaray. It was such a good game, but this will be a tough game for United. St James's Park is a tough place to go. And, the game after that against Chelsea will be tough, and they got a bit of an easier game against Bournemouth. Then of course they got that massive game, match day 6 of the Champions League against Bayern Munich, and after that they play Liverpool away. So tough games are coming up for United in this month, so they got to put in 100% effort. But personally, St James's Park, Newcastle are too strong at home. 3-1 Newcastle. And now we move on to Sunday's games. In the first game, 2 o'clock at the Vitality Stadium, Bournemouth against Aston Villa. Should be a cracking game in my opinion. Well, I wouldn't say that, but I'll take that back actually. I think it should be a decent game. Bournemouth at home, they can be decent because they did beat Newcastle in their last home game 2-0. They got back-to-back wins, Bournemouth. 2-0 win against Newcastle, 3-1 win against Sheffield United. Can the Cherries make it 3 from 3? Because Villa, of course, they did beat Spurs last time out in the league, but their last game in general was that win against Legia Warsaw in the Conference League. And by the way, I just want to speak about that game because, of course, there was some problems outside the ground with the travelling Legia Warsaw fans from Poland, Well, apparently, the allocation got changed, but Warsaw didn't know about it, so they weren't really happy. But, it was just disgusting to see from Warsaw fans. And, apparently Warsaw fans they like to start fights and all, but thankfully no Villa fans were hurt from the Warsaw fans, which is fantastic news. But back to this game now. Of course, Villa, they beat Tottenham. What? They beat Spurs last week. I thought we dominated Villa, but the first goal from the free kick, what a header from Pau Torres, and the second goal is a good finish from Watkins. But to be fair, Villa actually do seem to struggle against Bournemouth, to be fair. Because the last 2 visits Villa have made to Bournemouth have won both of them. So will Bournemouth make it 3 wins at home in a row against Villa? I don't think so. Villa, Unai Emery, he's got a great bunch of players. And, it's again they've got to win, to be honest. So they've got 2 big games after this against Manchester City and Arsenal. I think Villa will win. Of course, Watkins, he is a doubt. Will he be there? Who knows? But he wasn't. I don't think he was in the squad in their win against Legia Warsaw on Thursday. But personally, I think this will be a win for Villa. So I'm going to go 2-0 to Villa. And of course, the next game is at Stamford Bridge. It is a big game, to be fair. Chelsea versus Brighton. Should be a really good game in my opinion, because Chelsea, what on earth happened? A 4-1 defeat versus Newcastle. Chelsea just absolutely capitulated. They were absolutely shocking, Reece James, what is he doing? Absolute disgrace, considering he's the captain of Chelsea Football Club. It's a disgrace, it's a big player gone. Of course, Brighton, they beat AK Athens 1-0 on Thursday in the Europa League. They beat Forest 3-2 last time out. They're actually doing quite well, Brighton. 2, 4, 6, 7 games unbeaten, Brighton. Will they make it 8, or will Chelsea end the Seagulls' streak? But that game last week against Forest, when Forest took the lead, the response from Brighton was absolutely immaculate. It was actually amazing. Just the game in general was amazing. Chelsea, like I said, they just absolutely capitulated against Newcastle. Newcastle just absolutely ran riot over Brighton. But this could be a good game, because Chelsea, they need to bounce back after that defeat at St James's Park last week. It's going to be tough though, because Brighton are a good team, and of course, I think they've qualified as well for the next round of the Europa League, which is great stuff. But personally, I'm going to go with a draw here. I'm going to go 2-2. And of course, the next game is Liverpool versus Fulham at Anfield. And personally, I think Liverpool absolutely walk over Fulham, in my opinion. I mean, no disrespect to Fulham. They are a good side, of course. They got that big win on Monday against Wolves. But, but personally, I just think Liverpool are too strong at home. But I just think Liverpool, they're too strong at home at Anfield. They battered Lask 4-0 on Thursday. And even though they might not have Alisson for this game, I still think Liverpool will win anyway. I'm going to go 4-0. I think Liverpool will batter Fulham. And the next game is West Ham against Crystal Palace at the London Stadium. A London derby. Should be a good game in my opinion, because West Ham 1-0 win against TSC Bakatopola in the Conference League, no, in the Europa League even. Palace 2-1 defeat at Luton. A bit of a frustrating afternoon for Crystal Palace at Kenilworth Road. And by the way, the goal from Michael Elise was absolutely brilliant. I think he's injured though, which is a bit. Oh no, he isn't. It's Eze who's injured, I think. Was it Eze who scored? Was it Elise? I think it was Elise. I'm not sure, but Palace will be really annoyed with that result, because, no disrespect to Luton, but they are just a bit bad, aren't they? But, You know, like I said earlier, Luton did really well, especially Kaminsky, but it'll be a tough game for Palace. West Ham away, you know. West Ham, you know, they got a big game after against Tottenham. Come on, Spurs, for that game. So they'll want to win this game and have a bit of confidence going into that game on Thursday against us, against Spurs. Palace could get something out of this game, but they are missing Eze, which is a big loss for them. But personally, I think West Ham win this 2-1. It'll be a close game though. And the final game is at the Etihad Stadium. Game of the weekend: Manchester City versus Tottenham. I will be there. I'm looking forward to it. You know, new ground. I've never been to the Etihad before, but of course, stay tuned to the matchday vlog. Should be incredible. But this will be it's going to be a long afternoon for Tottenham, you know. We're missing big players for injury. Bentancur's out for 2.5 months. We're missing big players. Basuma's back, which is a big boost, but Man City, you know, of course, 3-2 win against Leipzig. They were 2-0 down as well, City, but of course they came back to win 3-2, but this is going to be a long afternoon for us, you know. City, you know, they've got a full team. We have them. We're missing big players. They're not. City, I think they're going to absolutely annihilate us. I'm going to go 4-1 to Man City. I think we're going to get absolutely battered. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Smash like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.